Hello and welcome to Global Policy Forum's weekly news video. This week, Global Policy Forum received a letter from Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon about NGO access here at UN headquarters. The NGO Working Group on UN Access, of which GPF is a member, sent a letter to the Secretary-General several weeks ago, noting the erosion of access and proposing solutions. Ban's response was brief, low on content, and did little to dispel the NGO community's worries about being cold-shouldered at a time when construction is reducing space and providing a handy excuse. Another group being sidelined from UN procedure is the press. In a move labelled a monumental setback to UN transparency, the Security Council has impeded press access, barred the Secretary-General's note-taker from attending meetings, limited the number of experts allowed to enter Council deliberations, and decreased access of non-Council diplomats. The attack on press freedoms has led the Committee to Protect Journalists to label the Security Council hypocritical. Another Security Council issue, sanctions on Iran, has taken an interesting turn this week as Chinese dependence on Iranian oil decreases. China previously blocked meaningful sanctions against Iran because of its close ties over oil. However, the Chinese National Petroleum Corporation signed a huge deal with Iraq, decreasing Chinese energy dependence on Iran. Nevertheless, recent statements from Beijing suggest that China is still far from enthusiastic about US-led sanctions against Iran. In Haiti, the reconstruction effort has been tarnished by controversies over how the pledged $5.4 billion will be spent. Of the $1.5 billion donated by the US, 40% is earmarked for the US military. A mere 1% of the funds will be channeled through the Haitian government, and perhaps most worrying of all, large sums of reconstruction fund are falling into the hands of private security contractors like Fluor and Geo Group. GPF is increasingly worried about the proliferation of private security contractors in both US military operations and within the UN. A further area of US controversy is the decision to deny climate aid to countries that reject the Copenhagen Accord. The Copenhagen Accord, also known as the Anti-Kyoto Protocol, is a feeble document that does not sufficiently address greenhouse gas emissions or protect African countries and island states most vulnerable to climate change. The US stance on climate aid is seen as a way to bully poor nations to consent to a weak international climate deal. For more information, insight and analysis on these stories and more, check out our website at www.globalpolicy.org. You can also follow our blog and on Twitter.